AKI. 3 letters that make all fans of pro wrestling games smile from ear to ear. This Japanese developer is very well known for their wrestling games, especially from the N64 era. They made games such as WCW vs NWO Worldwide and WWF No Mercy, both for the N64, which to most fans are 2 of the greatest wrestling games ever made. However, by 2003, Aki didn't have a license due to WWE being signed to THQ back in 1999 from the SmackDown series, and the other 2 companies, WCW and ECW, had been dead for nearly 2 years by that point. So Aki joined up with EA Canada, who also has experience, in massive quotes, in wrestling games, making one of the worst wrestling games ever made only 3 years earlier in WCW Backstage Assault. Oh god, that game's horrible. They both developed a wrestling game, but with a music group license in Def Jam, who's famous for mainly hip-hop and R&B music. So basically it's a wrestling game with artists and rappers in it. The game in question is Def Jam Vendetta. Is the game any good? Let's find out. This is Guenter 90 reviewing Def Jam Vendetta for the Gamecube and PlayStation 2. Let's get straight into it. Def Jam Vendetta is a hip-hop and pro wrestling game hybrid which was developed by Aki Corporation and published by EA in their EA Sports Big Lion back when EA was trying to be cool and edgy. It was released on March 31st, 2003 in the US and released here in the UK May 23rd, 2003. When you load the game up for the first time, you have a number of options, which is story mode, which is quite self-explanatory, battle, which is basically exhibition, survival mode, in which you verse an unlimited number of opponents until you are defeated, tutorial, which is basically videos showing you how the game works, galleries, which are basically pictures of the girls on the game, options, and where you can find your high score. So let's begin with the main story. Spoiler warning, if you haven't played this game before, right, I'm sorry, I will be spoiling the story. Also, the footage I am using was from a Let's Play I did over a year ago on my Let's Play channel, so if you want to watch it, the link is in the description below. The main story mode is the player picks one of 4 characters, which are the following: Briggs, who's a soldier who was dishonorably discharged, a former superbike racer called Proof, a huge fighter from Japan called Tank, and a DJ called Spider. No, not that kind of spider. Thank you, that kind of spider. Anyway, I like all 4 characters, but the big downside to this is there isn't any character creation on the game, which hurts the game a lot. So, the character you pick, I chose Briggs for this review, and your mate Manny, who reminds me of former wrestler Just Incredible for some strange reason, asks you to take his spot in the Underground Fighting League, in which you fight for him in a couple of fights inside a club owned by Scarface. At the end of the fights, you verse Scarface, who is the first boss. After you defeat him, your character meets a girl called Deja. But every couple of fights or so, another girl who's after you gets into Deja's face, and you pick which one you want to be with, and they fight each other in the ring. After that, you go to Grimeyville and fight a few more men. Nori, who's the boss for Grimeyville, challenges you to a fight, but after you win, right, you get a new attire and nearly get into a fight with D-Mob, voiced by Chris Judge, who is known for being in the Starship SG-1 and also is the voice of Kratos in the new God of War game. Manny, after the fight with Nori, enters you and him into a tag team tournament. You then get a phone call from Ludacris, who challenges you to a fight, but first he wants you to go against some of the opponents he's picked in his club. Before that fight, Ludacris, right, gets a woman called Carla, and she takes your girlfriend to go somewhere better. After the fight, D-Mob tells you and Manny that you're not worth his time. D-Mob then announces that if anyone in the club that's currently present can beat him in a fight at the Def Jam tournament, will get all the power and respect that they want. Manny then gets a quiet word with you one-to-one, and he asks you, please stop fighting, it's not worth it anymore. Your character says no. Next, DMX wants to fight you, but first you have to compete inside the Dragon House. After that, it is a tag team tournament finals against Method Man and Redman, which you defeat and become champions. You then arrive to the fight with DMX, with another set of attire sent to you by Angel, played by former singer Christina Milian, who was taken from you by D-Mob. After you defeat DMX, Angel emails you to ask you to meet up and have a word about your relationship. But one problem. It's a trap! Instead of Angel being there, it's House, Pockets and Snowman sent by D-Mob to finish you off once and for all. Once you win in this 3-on-1 beatdown, you get attacked by none other than your mate Manny with a baseball bat, who is siding D-Mob against his will. You wake up and enter the tournament and beat all the best fighters in Def Jam. D-Mob, who at this point is furious, then decides to try and kill you by shooting you. He does, but Manny jumps in the way of the bullet, but he survives. The story ends with D-Mob getting arrested and you getting your girl back, in which the excellent sequel, Fight for New York, begins. So, in this story mode, you have fights and you win, you earn money for every fight you win, and you use this money to upgrade your stats, and also the fighters you beat become playable in battle mode and survival mode. Or you can use the money to buy more pictures of the gorgeous girls in the gallery. Personally, I really like this story. It's got a decent pace, there is a lot of filler though that can be a bit boring sometimes if you want to just get on with it. I like the ending with where Manny basically swerves you, then comes back on your sides. The cutscenes are very well done, the graphics are fine, the voice work is excellent, especially Chris Judge's D-Mob. However, your character is molt. Now let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is very good indeed. The game has the same engine as Aki's other games, which means if you're looking for something a bit more realistic, then sadly you're not going to find it here. This game is very arcadey. Like all wrestling games, you can win by pinfall, submission or knockout. Pinfall, you have 3 seconds to kick out after being pinned down. Submission is you putting your opponent in a submission or a hold, which can be locked into 4 different parts of the body: the head, chest, legs and arms. However, if the hold is near the ropes, then the hold has to be broken or a rope break. When you lock a hold, each body part has a health bar. If that bar reaches 0, then the person will tap out and submit. When you start the matches, you can do strikes and grapples, which fill up your bar on the bottom of the screen, which is your power bar, which would be purple if you're playing it as player 1, for example. You do combos and fill it up quickly, then all of a sudden it starts flashing. When it flashes, you can go into blazing state. When you're in this state, you can get your opponent in a lockup and you move the analog stick, your character will unleash its finisher, which are so fucking over the top. Look at this finisher. This is Briggs' finisher. It's called the Chiropractor. It is mental. I fucking love that move. It's just awesome. But if your opponent has danger on their energy bar, which is the red bar at the bottom of your hub screen or the HUD, you win because you would have knocked them out. I like this feature, but one problem. If you enter a blazing state and your opponent isn't dizzy, they will walk away from you by leaving the ring, and it can be especially frustrating against the computer. You are basically saying to the computer, "Come here, you little bastard!" Speaking of the computer, oh my god, it is fucking brutal on medium difficulty or above. They will kick your ass. If you do not learn the controls, it will kick your ass. I recommend, if you are new to wrestling games, to play on easy difficulty first or practice on it first. Also, the computer likes to reverse you a lot, so if you're not good at reversing, you're going to get your ass beat. Since the game also is based on a music company, I bet the soundtrack's good. Is the soundtrack any good? Is people going to really like this soundtrack? Yes, they will. It is awesome. The soundtrack is licensed songs from the artists who are in the game, like Nori, Redman and DMX. I sadly can't play any of these due to copyright, but believe me, it's good. I have left a little playlist in the description below of some of the songs on the game. Trust me, it's ace. So let's talk about the other modes in the game. Battle mode, which is basically exhibition, but the problem with it is there's not any gimmick matches at all. So there's no ladder matches, no cage matches. You can only do singles, 2-on-2, 3-way dance, 4-way dance, 2-on-1 handicap, 3-on-1 handicap. That's it. This is very poor for a wrestling game of this time due to the fact of SmackDown Shut Your Mouth had been out for 5 months by this point. And that game has tons of matches. Survival mode is quite self-explanatory. It's you verse opponents until you are defeated. Until you are defeated. So, that is pretty much it for Def Jam Vendetta. What do I think? I think this game is awesome. Great gameplay, solid controls, but can be very brutal due to the CPU and the high difficulties. Very limited match types for a wrestling game in 2003. I would recommend it to wrestling game fans or people who haven't played it. It is very cheap to buy. I got my copy for £2 about a year ago. So if you enjoyed it, have fun and enjoy. I want to say thank you very much, guys, for watching my review. I'm sorry for the stuttering and all that. I'm still not used to talking a lot and trying to be all professional and stuff. It's going to take me time to get used to it. Also, let me know, guys, what you think. I have another straw poll in the description for you guys to vote on my next review. If you like it, hit that like button and also subscribe for more reviews. Hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you guys on my next review.